something to say about how schools really should be a focus of attention for the government and how your technology could make it easy. So can we have in a crisp 5 or 6 sentences some wisdom on that?
Thanks, Maroof. On Mr. Your Excellencies, I'm very happy when the Minister said about doing things on their own. So the question is, let me give you a solution to Peshawar. The question is self-help. The point is that people who are likely to be affected, which is schools in this case, will have to help themselves. The Peshawar school opened, the army is controlling them. The schools in Paris, 700 of them, the police is controlling them. How long will it take? So, and the minister mentioned that the government police cannot do everything. You will need to use technology to help you. So, some of the suggestions that were made by the Home Ministry after Peshawar, I'll just dwell on 2 of them. One was add more CCTV. And here we have an expert on CCTV. And you have to do that. There's no question about that. Add more guards. The point is you already have 2 problems. When you add more guards, what kind of due diligence have you done about the guards? How do you know how old the guard is? How do you know how young the guard is? Do you know how he looks like? Our technology will help to create these kind of guardrails. And in terms of CCTV, unless you review what's happening as a standard operating procedure, how do you know that whether the person who is walking around your premises in the last couple of days, is he actually planning something? No incident like Peshawar or an incident like what we've been seeing in the schools, which is molestation cases, which is another problem that the minister would have. These incidents do not happen without planning. You need to review. And in order to review CCTV footage, Mr. Minister, we don't need MBA graduates to do that. This technology, if you only make it into a standard operating procedure, will provide so many job opportunities. Because all you need is a pair of eyes to review and a sharp mind. And if you can see 24 hours of footage very quickly and start looking at things that are going wrong, including perhaps non-working cameras. So we had a case in a very large school, sir, in Mumbai. Lots of cameras. The recorder was showing that it was recording. There was a molestation case where they tried to find the footage. The footage was lost. Now if the footage is lost, how will the police ever be able to crack the case? Or in some of the cases we see that they take away the recorder itself. So our technology helps in multiple ways. It will create a backup of the video in the form of screenshots in a remote location. So even if your recorder is gone, Mr. Minister, you will still have that data with you. And B, most importantly, it creates the ability, gives you the ability to review very quickly. Once you review, you begin to realize that I need to pay attention in these areas. That's one part.
So where is your vision as the government in terms of how we can use technology to make smart cities, how we can make technology to make life safer for all our citizens? Because I think a key element which came out yesterday also, and I'm sure it's going to come out in Ms. Meenakshi Lekhi's talk also, that smart cities is about making technologies people-friendly, making technologies addressing the grievances of people, making technology useful to the average citizen, and how you can do that. So what are your thoughts on that?
Technology is something integral part of your life now. You cannot detach it from your the way you conduct your life. But at the same time, what I've realized that in terms of deep technology or in terms of those related to internal securities, we need to use very highly rated technological advancements. We face lots of challenges. Now, most of the internets and all this are US based. So, the challenges which we have seen in the ministry is, if we are too much dependent on the technology which is controlled by outside the country, then the challenge is very big. We want to use the technology, but we have to secure our interests also. So, most of the US and Europe based technologies are very, very necessary, but at the same time, we have to ensure that we upgrade those systems within our own country, which will be in the interest of the country. At the same time, the small time technologies like CCTVs and all these things, which are not very complicated, these we are of course looking into our stride. The police modernization process has been going on for a long time, but I personally feel simply modernization of the police forces with addition of few equipments is not going to take care of our needs. It has to be total upgradation. Going a step further than the use of technology itself, as you yourself mentioned, the prevention of the thing, of any kind of events or incidents, these are certain things we have to give lots of importance on. Because suppose I believe that in northeastern India, it is very usual case that you are going from this place to another town and there is a strike or band code. You are stranded there on the road because one organization has declared strike. So my philosophy is, rather than taking police, army guarding me to reach me across that, go and strike those people who are creating the trouble. Clear the road. How long we will just remain ourselves protected? So attack the trouble. So on that sense, using of CCTV is okay. It needs to back up linkages. If there is no power, no electric supply, the camera will not work or something. All these are necessary. But we have to raise the level of our social campaign, whether in school or villages or hospital or anywhere. Why should you tease a woman? In most of the countries, teasing women is not there, just not there. Why it is so prevalent in our society? Go for that. Why should you molestation in the school? It's a shame to the society. Concentrate on that. Campaign, awareness, and then of course, prevention is so important. Then after prevention, whatever is failed through our preventive measures, then we talk about action. Then comes all these electronic gadgets will come into handy. We will definitely use the most modern, gadgets available on the market. What has been said, we'll definitely look into all these things, and things are going. Delhi police, elsewhere in the country, we have been giving suggestions, financial support to all the state governments for procurement of all latest updated security apparatus and gadgets and electronic gadgets and all. We are doing it, but whatever comes handy, necessary, user-friendly, we will go all out. Because we have to make this society safe. Thank you, sir.
And because you've done some work on face recognition.
Right. So I'll just add on to what Pramoud said about, the point is that the police is already a very overburdened force. And this is one of the things that our technology takes care of. Now, Mr. Minister, an incident that takes place in Delhi, whether it's a bomb blast, a murder, a chain snatching case, is it any different from an incident in Mumbai or Boston? No. Incidents do not differ by geography. So if incidents do not differ by geography, why is the affected party itself not delivering to the police a standardized incident report? If we can, and sir, you may be aware that IIT has been given the job of recommending an internal security paper, and I met Interpol 5 months ago, and I raised this question with them, that when incidents are not differing worldwide, Why is the world not adopting a common incident format, incident reporting format? Now imagine in what Pramoud said, if I was able to give to the police officer the entire story of the incident with the relevant screenshots built in PowerPoint as a soft copy, because once I have it in PowerPoint with my police station, it becomes very easy for an incident in Mumbai to be shared with New Delhi. By the time these people get on board the train, they're caught. So incident occurring and solving, as you rightly said, sir, prevention is one thing, but when it's missed out, you need to solve that incident quickly. And this will help to solve. Plus, we have to realize, sir, that there is a lot of data in incidents which is missing. In the sense, if you document incidents regularly, you begin to get patterns. Getting patterns of what type of incidents are taking place on what day, what time, allows you to take preventive and corrective action. It's a simple philosophy that takes away the burden of the law enforcement agencies. And lastly, just one point that I want to make. In the case of the Boston bomb blast and the Toronto riots, the police had to go through 40,000 hours of video. 40,000 hours of video coming from various sources, including people, because everybody has a camera now. How does a police review so much video and pull out only things that are important and share it with agencies across the country? This is where there is such utilities and facilities available in our technology. And finally, sir, this is something that I'd like to show you. These are suspected terrorists. When the Home Ministry has to share it, you will share it with the various states of India. But the Home Minister of each state is not looking for these people. It is a policeman on the ground who is looking for these people, or at the immigration. Therefore, sharing formats must be extremely easy and available on the mobile device to be consumed on the mobile device in one standard format. So all I'm saying is that if we bring standardization across the country or globally, you have solved a lot of problems of confusion. When crime is not different, why should a format be? So that's one of the things that we do.
So your take on some of the information they have put, and how do you see us moving into the next era where digital data, etc. is available and we can make policing more efficient? Or do you feel that there's an over-reliance on technology and ignoring the police beat man on the ground is not really too good a thing? Because my experience has been that senior police command centers look all very good for ministers to go and see. It is the thana on the ground which is ignored, but that's where all the problem has to be solved.
Yes, definitely we have to focus things which are on the ground. And I also personally feel like visiting the police stations wherever possible. But normally the minister's route is fixed in such a way that you don't get to really go to the grassroots management of thanas, chowkis, or these beats and all. But still, I feel that it is interface between the police and the civilians. It must be really integrated. That is why we have this saying of every civilian is a policeman in civil dress and a policeman is a civilian in uniform. It is together, security of the society is the job of everyone. We have to work together. The problem sometimes are the cynicism, they are prevalent deeply in our society that ये इनका काम है, उनको करना है, ये पुलिस का काम है, मेरा काम थोड़ी है. So we have to work together. Police definitely, we have a great shortage of strength. Policing is a very difficult job, especially in a country like India where we have so much of problems, issues every day, definitely is the greatest challenge. And our strength is much below what is, required. And even beyond that also, in the sanctioning strength also, we are unable to fill up. I was answering in one of the questions in last session of the parliament. If you see the police strength of every state, the shortage is staggering. 20%, 30% shortage of police forces. I'm talking about the sanction strength. And among the central paramilitary forces which we directly look after, because India has the largest paramilitary forces in the world, the CRPF alone is 3 lakhs. So, and even IPS officers, there's a shortage of IPS officers by around 1,000. So you can imagine the shortage of strength in our country. But at the same time, we have to go ahead with whatever strength we have. And by adopting the modern technology in place, it can really, take the job much easier. Otherwise, if you completely, put yourself on the 100% reliance on technology, India is not ready for that yet. The metropolitan policing is different from the rural policing. The policing in Nagaland will be different from policing in Chandigarh. We have to understand that. So, metropolitan policing has been a specific, program for us for quite some time. And our Home Ministry has started one program for keeping the metropolitan cities safe. So we have started some pilot projects under which we are issuing some extra guidelines, extra equipments, financial supports and all the state governments and union territory. Delhi we look after directly by Home Ministry, but the other states, some of these cities also, we are actively dealing with the security agencies as well as the state government in policing the metropolitan cities. But at the same time, we cannot really, ignore the policing in the rural areas. So in totality, using technology available in hand and the concept of smart police, which Prime Minister has said, that the alert, smartness, they're well equipped. So every policeman must be well trained. So human resources, technological uses, and interface with the civilians and the police, we have to take care of everything. And there are cases of police reforms and so many things are pending. We feel that I'm also sometimes becoming a little impatient in terms of police reforms and all these things. It's not moving in a manner which I personally would like to. But issues are there. It's not one day subject. We will deal with it as it comes.
So I just want to add one thing. You had mentioned earlier about not being over-dependent on technology which is built in the United States, for example. What I'd like to say is that India has enough potential to build your own technology. So for example, this technology is completely built in India. Why should we go to the United States to go and get this technology? On the contrary, I'd like to end, Maroof, is that this is a technology built in India, made for the world. It's not a technology that will work only for India. We should, like thousands of years ago, sir, we gave Shunya, Aryabhatta gave Shunya to the world. With something like this, we can give Suraksha to the world. It's a proudly made in India technology, and we should make use of it.